All right, I wanted to review what we went over this week. Maybe it'll help you guys. Starting off with scientific notation. 3.2 times 10 to the third. The third is called an exponent. An exponent. So this basically means 3.2 times 10 times 10 times 10. But this is just a way easier way to write it. So, again, the first step that you do 100% of the time is rewrite this number right below it. All right, so I'm rewriting it. Now, I called the 3 the exponent. The exponent represents that's how many times you're going to move the decimal. And since it's a positive exponent, you're going to move it to the right. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. So now that your number is 3,200. And that is the answer for that. Now, a lot of times they're going to ask you to put it from one form to the other. So you're basically you're going to have to sometimes work in reverse. So like if they wanted you to put this in scientific note or standard form, what would you do? Remember, you have to make this a number between 1 and 10. So in order to do that, you would have to put your decimal between 3 and 2 to make it 3.2. All right, and now when you're working the other way, you're kind of working backwards on this. So you're trying to make this into this now, which I know you already know the answer, but so is this a big number? Yes. So therefore it is a positive. So that's how you work both sides of it. All right, now moving on to the negative. 3.2 times 10 to the negative third. So 3.2 times 10 to the negative third. So negative 3, since it's a negative, is going to be a small number. So you're going to move it to the left. 1, 2, 3. So 0, 0. So your new number is 0.0032. All right. Now moving on to rational numbers. Again, rational. It has the word ratio in it. I mean, if you wanted it, you could call it like ratio now. Kidding, as a joke. All right. So rational. So if you wanted to figure out if 16 was rational, how in the world could you make a rational or a ratio or a fraction with 16? Remember, it has to equal 16. So you're basically thinking of a division problem that equals 16. So you could do, one that comes to mind for me would be 32 divided by 2. I guess another, Facebook update. I guess another thing that you could do is, whatever the number is, say if it's 4, as an example, this might help some of y'all who are struggling with it. Just think of what would be 4 times 2, 8. So therefore, 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And 8 over 2 is a rational, is a ratio and a fraction that equals 4. So as another example, you could do 6. And you could ask yourself, 6 times 2 is what? 12. So therefore, you could say 12 over 2. But they're not always going to be with 2. But that's just an example that you could do. All right. And rational, think of non-perfect squares. So, give myself a little bit of room. So again, think of the square root of, actually let's think of like 3 times 3 would be 9. So that means the square root of 9 is a perfect square root. And moving on to the next number, 4 times 4 equals 16. So the square root of 16 is a perfect square root. So now, 3 and 4, 3 times 3 equals 9. And also 4 times 4 is 16. So these are perfect square roots. So now any square root, for an example, between 9 and 16 would be a non-perfect square root. So therefore it would be irrational. Sorry. Alright. So hope that helps as a quick review. If you need more help, let me know. Anyway, have a great Wednesday.